Hey, it's Toya, come back, or Toya to you, depending which time zone you're in. Welcome back, everyone. We're doing, part two? The second part of the trial of, Soseki's second case in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're back. We came up with a lot of conspiracy theories last night, regarding what Champster was up to, and also regarding, you know, what Olive Green was up to, right? Because it's not just a coincidence that she had access to poison, you know? So we've basically inferred that she was most likely the person who attempted to kill Shamspear, because most likely Shamspear was the one who killed her boyfriend or fiance, right? By manipulating the gas lamps and causing gas to build up in Duncan Ross's room, and like, you know, until killing him, because he initially wanted the middle room, because that was the room that Selden, the criminal who got killed, lived in. So he's probably thinking that, oh, this is the last place that he was at before he got captured by the police. So this is probably where he hid his 1,000-pound treasure. So, you know, I'm not sure like if it was intentional that he tried to kill that he killed Duncan, or maybe he was trying to like scare him or something. I don't know yet. But he's doing the same thing with Soseki, so we can't let him off. Hello, local. I'm just explaining what happened. It's time for court. It's time for court, my learned friend. Hello, Eri. Let me give you a little shouty shout out. Here we go. Okay, we're just gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna see what Von Zieks came up with. Also, I kind of thought of a little theory with the letter, right? So, she said that she's the one who received the letter, right? But here's the thing, I'm not sure if she would actually take the letter with her to the meeting. Not necessarily, right? Because it's like, if you open the letter, right, why would you keep both pieces of the letter, right? Like, if she tore it off, why would she keep the end part and the envelope with her? Like, you would just take I would think you would just take the letter itself, right? The actual written part. So I don't think that it's her that received the letter. I think that potentially she might have been the one who sent the letter to Shamspear, right? Because maybe Shamspear was keeping that letter in the tin box, and that's why there was nothing in there. And so that's why she accidentally left behind the little tip of the envelope and took the actual contents of the letter away. At least that's what I'm thinking of, because it's like, you know, like, why would you keep both things of the letter, right? But I could be wrong. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. Let's go. February 23rd, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh, oh, he's a cat again. Soseki. Dots. 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 This is it then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that's been plaguing Mr. Natsume. To everything. And in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you. Thanks, Sasato. I always appreciate your help, Miss Sasato. Suffering Soseki selfishly sidelined. I mean, I thought you were having a moment, Soseki. Like, come on. Ah, I thought you were pretending to be a cat again. Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning? Good morning, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Listen to you two, chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here. Well, you didn't exactly say hi either, but okay. Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear. We didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that you had your eyes shut so tightly you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we totally thought you were meditating, bro. I was waiting for us to say hi? What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different. What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow. Bro, okay, I get it, but also, I don't want it to be a pity party, not like Soseki. Like, come on. Why, naturally. It's because I've attained spiritual enlightenment. Really? You've attained spiritual enlightenment. Are you sure about that? Really? Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I could see it. I could see it in your visage, Soseki. You've absolutely attained spiritual enlightenment. Just look at you. Look at your candor. Look at your demeanor. Right? Absolutely. You're not being like petty at all. Nah. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. This sounds like an actual quote. Or such like. It's the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. I mean, you could have just started with that, you know? I missed the signs, I'm afraid, somehow. You'll have to forgive me. And you mustn't talk of your path leading you to death, Mr. Natsume. That was just an example. Sure. Oh yes, there it is. Inner calm. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. Dude, we were busy doing your case. Man, we were busy trying to figure out everything. I was sure you'd abandon me and return to our beautiful long-lost homeland. I like the Marsa cat. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that too. We've not even been in Great Britain a week yet. Yeah, it's less than a week. We've had 3 trials basically almost back to back. Yes, well, anyway. I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. Wait, actually, if I remember correctly, it was literally after Soseki's case, where Shom was like, hey, do you want to live with me? And we were like, yes, and we were just literally, we were lived with him for like one night and then like drag. That's why like none of our stuff was like unpacked yet. I'm just remembering now, like, yeah, we've only lived with him for like one night, with Shomes for one night, and then we're like, and then Soseki got dragged into another case. My god. Okay. Dots. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh? Oh? What sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. That you're gonna go back to Japan once you get acquitted? Alright. But that means he's hopeful, right? It would seem. Mr. Shrooms isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits, or some such. Rinosuke never catches a break. Literally, it's less than a week. And then the next trial canonically takes place 2 months later. So it's like, bruh. It's a very clear message, I think. That he's overslept again. Probably. The great detective. My arch nemesis. Long may you stay away, if you ask me. Defendant, and your legal representative. The trial is about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately. You must show up in the middle of things, probably. Okay, we'll make it in there. Today, once again, we'll face the Reaper. Lord Baruch von Zeeks. Let's go. And when the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But Soseki's alive in Japan, right? So he must, let you know, he is innocent. We know that. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. But to be fair, it's kind of funny and a little bit ironic because spirits do exist in Ace Attorney. Like psychic powers and like spirit mediums and all that stuff, that's real. You know, like supernatural abilities and whatnot, that's all legit. But, you know, we haven't discovered that yet, I don't think. But anyways, I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. That's right, Brunosuke. We gotta build up more rapport before we expose government secrets in a court of law. Let's go. "23rd February, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom." Let's do it. There he is! There he is! "In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session." Okay. "I call upon the counsels of the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed." The prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready. Very good. And now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? I mean, most of them were not chosen by lot. Most of them were chosen by, like, Von Zieks, right? Because, like, it involves Soseki. Absolutely. Justice will be done. You mark my words. Berkeley looks of I can't get it. Yeah, it's literally just a whole ass, like, Count Dracula, you know, looking visage. I feel obliged to say, I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat is just sitting just right. Oh, well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me. And please, be as ruthless as you... Right, this is the same guy. This is the same guy that was really into Von Zieks doing the legjection. Thieves deserve to die, if you ask me. Especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all. Know about that lady? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of just quirks, right? Look, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I don't have time for this. I got my own problems. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here, and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today. Okay. Now, Lord Von Zieks, what can you tell us? Dots. The prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's tea. So he does have the results. Is it poison or not? Tell us. Oh, already? Bro, this is the introduction. God damn, all right. Oh my god. It's 9 a.m. Baroque, literally. Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the blackguard in the dock. And that is pronounced blackguard. And basically blackguard is basically just a word for bastard. Anyways. Or like an unscrupulous sort. Pray, allow me a moment to savor a liquid of a more sanguine hue. Indeed. In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window, in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid, and a little depression on the top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. It's not even noon, he's already drinking. I mean, I don't think he even sleeps, right? Well, the brains at the yard analyzed it, and yes, you're right. It was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxic substance in it. Nice, let's go. Let's go. But it's also a thing of like, he might say like, oh, can you prove that this was actually the tea that he used? Correctly, first time she said she's ruthless when her hand isn't sitting right, and now she's saying she's ruthless when her hand is sitting right. I feel like she's just trying to be ruthless all around, you know? You know what they say? Ruthlessness is mercy upon yourself. Anyways. No poison at all. In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him to the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation! Nice! We cleared one thing. As I suspected. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is blameless. My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction. God damn. You're not holding back, are you, Von Zeeks? What? Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Counsel. That's what I thought. Exactly. Unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question. As the court has already heard, bitter was the precise word from the lips of Mr. William Shakespeare, and we do know that strychnine has a bitter taste. Whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Damn, he really is taking no prisoners. It's only been like, what, 5 minutes since court started, and he's already thrown his glass into the fire. My god. Very well. I will uphold the prosecution's request. Mr. Shakespeare. Yes. It sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend. Bailiff, show Mr. Shakespeare to the stand. Hello, you pompous ass. Anyways. Mr. William Shakespeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shakespeare, did have a belly full of the foul fluid given, in mine innocence. Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps first been led to believe. By using the bars of soap such as this, he has been stealing from the gas company, from the supply company. Yes. One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shakespeare, did have a room full of the sweet feel given. That's right. Villagers, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I've forgotten. Kept all that about the ice coins and a tiny secret, didn't you? You should have known that sooner. Arrest him, I say. Arrest him at once. And let me feel the sting in my tail, but yeah, they probably will arrest him, but this is not this trial isn't about that. Oh, indeed. By dint of vile and cowardly means have I plotted to further mine own ends, I confess. Thou wouldst not pardon my sins, of that I'm sure. If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death be well deserved. But would it that a still grander, greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of farther east than Verona did contrive to poison me, Oh, I see. It's a little Shakespeare dance. Okay. There was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police have attested to that. But the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shakespeare? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak. Very well. Let the witness testify to explain this inconsistency. Tell the court, why is it that poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea? Okay, let's go. What do you got for me? The tea inconsistency. The tea inconsistent tea. Anyways. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction and our debate, never did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. But we can prove that that's incorrect because of the teacups. There's no tea ring inside Natsume's cup, which means he just immediately drank it. When he departed by and by, I did use the tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. Thus, 'tis no surprise that poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. Bullshit. At least it's OT. Well, it's an OT, but a goodie. Anyways. The tea... The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Quite. Otherwise, it will be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. So now he's saying he poisoned... No, now he's saying that... Now he's saying that Soseki poisoned the tea at the place and didn't drink. In my experience, sir... I mean, he is a very experienced prosecutor. Who knows? Maybe the hollow chalice was a poison chalice indeed. But no poison bottle was found at the scene. Because, quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room. The absence of the vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. I knew that. It's just microdosing poison to make himself the moon. Exactly, yeah. Wasn't there a... He's basically... I'm thinking, like, what was it? Well, he's basically Princess Briding himself, right? You know, Eric, he's not microdosing poison, he's microdosing garlic to make himself immune. Just little bits of garlic every single day. More and more of it. Anyways. By now it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stain of guilt from the accused hands. Sirs, madams, 'tis true that I, Shakespeare, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. What exactly is that made of, I swear? Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no costs. I've naught to lose. Well, I do declare. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. I'm gonna press everything, but I'm gonna press on the thing of him drinking that tea. That is bullshit, and we know it. The tea inconsistency. Inconsistency. Hang on, let me see. Okay. I'll press on this. Hold it. I understand that you were already acquainted with Mr. Natsume. Is that correct? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Do I know thee? Oh, know thee not. Methinks 'tis all I can know, that thy destiny mingles with mine. You lost me at the first D. Zounds! Thou must learn the English tongue. Afore thou turns thy hand to lawyering. He's literally an English major. I did, but I must have missed the archaic Elizabethan lecture. Okay, alrighty. Anyways. Oh. Verily, and in truth, 'twas a fine flavored brew. There a drop of poison did barb its sweetness, as the thorn doth barb the sweet rose. That, dear friends, be the simple truth. Listen to Mr. Shamspeare. He seems in even better form than he was yesterday. He must have been rehearsing. Either that, or I'm in worse form. That fated evening, after I did dine, at Grube's Grubery, a local alehouse of good report, not did pass my lips but the tainted black tea. But behold, the poison was not in the tea at first. Hold it! Are you saying that you saw the moment when the tea was added to your tea? The poison was added to your tea? To have witnessed the act, and then drank the tea. Thou dost describe the actions of a fool. That I do. That I do. I do thus describe the actions of a fool. Quite so, quite so. But no one likes going thirsty, do they? Sooner would I die quenched than parched. Would I have the choice? Actually, on the night in question, the water main was frozen, I believe, wasn't it? But not for the tea. In truth, I would soon have died frozen than quenched or parched. Right. No ice coins means no heating. The witness had more than one brush with death on the night in question, it would seem. Remind the court, Mr. Shamspeare, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea which he brought with him. With the greatest of pleasure, my liege. Whilst feigning distraction in our debate. Hold it! Oh, yeah, I'll press on this. But the teacup Mr. Natsume drank from was found completely empty at the scene. And let's not forget to defend his maxim. Drink tea while it's hot. I did gulp from the poison cup that night, and in mine agony did I drive uncontrolled. In fits of pain I did knock the fellow's cup, and his contents spilt as blood from a gaping wound, methinks. Though certainly, 'twas after I made the coins of ice from his tea. An upset cup was found on the table. The victim was slumped over. There's no contradiction here. It's true. There is no tea left in either cup that we found at the scene. But still, something about this statement is troubling me. Yes, of course, I know what it is. It's Mr. Natsume's wise drink tea while it's hot maxim, isn't it? It's not, it's the evidence. No, I'm not sure that's it. Thank you, witness. Now reiterate for the court what it is that occupied you after your guest had left, and before you drank your tea. Objection! You claim that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question. But that's impossible. How, chop logic. What is this, you darkly clad fiend? The two teacups from the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible proof. Incontrovertible. What difference? Haven't we talked about it already? No, we haven't presented the teacups in court. That's the thing. Look at the insides of the cups. Just here. There's a clearly visible ring. Yes, a tea ring. Commonplace enough. Indeed. Such stains occur all too readily when one leaves tea in the cup for a while. And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring. Good lord, you're right. It's completely clean. Impreciso. What mixed down with it? Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday. The Japanese saying he quoted. Drink tea while it's hot. That's right, yes. The jury of Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time. If, as you claim in your testimony, he didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of his cup as well, after the several hours the tea was left standing. But, in short, Mr. Shamspear, you clearly lied to the court. Get thee to another ring! Good old Hamlet. Uh-oh? It's only 10 a.m., Bunteeks, please. Okay. As a rule, I fill my hallowed chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. 7 times? That means he either... That means he tosses it at least 7 times? You might want to keep that information to yourself. Holy shit! Oh! It's empty! Yet on occasion, tedium distracts me, and I pour more times than I intended until the bottle is dry. Your drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant. On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. To William Shamspear. Yes, my liege. Though you previously stated that you made the coins of ice and the leftover tea in the accused cup, could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Eh? Could it be that? Yes. Perhaps there was some tea remaining in the small teapot left at the scene. But there was... What? Wouldn't Soseki bring back his own teapot? What? A fact that had vanished from your memory until now. Wait a second. Now he makes it, but how fun. But I guess he's a... Yeah, basically. How can we disprove this? Dots. Faith, my liege, thou art a magician. But verily, 'tis as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes that night. What? Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use tea from the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I looked, 'twas empty. Pray for good discourse. I'll be looking for a bit. Alright, Ari, enjoy your lurk. And thus did I use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege did suggest.
Objection.
And you've just suddenly remembered now that you made a mistake before. Are we supposed to believe that?
Objection.
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us two things of note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacup only. And secondly, that the spoiled tea cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that have bewitched this court. The prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, that testimony remains valid and in full support of the established facts. In other words, let's go, he took it off! The inconsistency claimed by the defense simply does not exist. No! What does this mean then? I do declare, it means that there's no issue with the gas thief's testimony. Apart from the bit about thieving gas, obviously. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear. Yeah, pretty much. It's just kind of a weird thing, anyways. After I did dine at Grubb's Grubbery Alehouse that night, not did pass my lips, but the black tea given me by the Japanese, whose back be stooped as low as death. And on what did you dine, sir? Why, I did partake of my favorites, a broth as would be called soup, and a leaf as would be called salad. So, did you actually eat that? As insalubrious as a menu, as the establishment where it was served. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. Willingly would I suffer what punishment 'tis seen fit to serve a wicked thief of gas. But I pray you wise and noble fellows never forget the simple truth. That be one thing, and this be another. Jurors all, your humble servant, Shamspeare, doth entreat you. Punish the Japanese fellow for his sins. Oh, hello, Weeping. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for the water ASMR. Everyone, let's grab our little water jugs and do a little glug glug. And thank you so much for the stretch. Let's all do a little stretchy stretch right now. That's good. But how are you, Weeping? My lord! Oh. I see, he's gonna... Alright. I guess we're doing a summation examination immediately. Alright. Sleep deprived. Oh no! If I may speak, my lord. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I believe we may have been duped by that rotten defense lawyer. Sir? Wow, okay. By me? I do declare you may be right. We all know that Wayfair was making coins of ice to keep himself warm. But this lawyer lad says if he's stealing gas, he deserves a dose of poison, eh? He's been leading us up the garden path. That's what he's been doing. I really never said anything like that. But what we just heard from the victim that has opened our eyes again. We've reached a decision this time, and we won't be swayed from it. You say that. Every time I hear my lord, I think about this track scene. Oh, I see. The court acknowledges the position of the jury foreman, and will duly hear the jury's findings. What? No! You can't yet! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your decisions now.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Even you?
Guilty.
Okay.
Guilty.
I hereby declare the jury to be in one accord. Oh, happy day! Dance. How is this happening? My lord, the defense asserts his right to carry out a summation examination. Very well. The court upholds the defense's right. Typical. My learned friend is unable to accept the obvious truth. This trial will therefore enter its second submission examination immediately. Jurors, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime of which he is charged. Let's assume we are sure he was poisoned and didn't pretend. What we really need to find is how he could be poisoned by Seer, who besides mustache could have poisoned him. We inferred that yesterday. We inferred that last night. Local. We inferred that it was probably Olive Green because she had the bottle of poison there. The only thing we haven't figured out is exactly how he was poisoned. That's the main thing. The jurors' contentions. I'm a man of logic, me. Having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. Okay, I'm gonna press on this. I do agree that gas is far too expensive. I can quite understand why the man would want to avoid paying. The stuff explodes and it can poison you. It's absolutely lethal. Gases. Gas doesn't come for free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the tea my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times. If nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? I do feel that perhaps personal opinion about gas and its supply has influenced the decision somewhat. But never mind. No, you really should mind. The truth is, our counter-argument wasn't as unsaleable as we'd hoped. And Mr. Shamster was poisoned. There can be no doubt of that. And how are we supposed to turn this around? We press, dude. You've done this before. I think we need to establish the method by which Mr. Shamster was actually poisoned. Our only hope is to demonstrate that to the court incontrovertibly. But that's surely almost impossible at this stage. If we don't manage it though, Mr. Natsumi will be found guilty. No delays, counsel. Proceed to the summation examination. The defense's rebuttal. Okay, let's press on this. All the evidence, you say? That's right. There's no room for doubt. Without pointing at that Japanese man with the big mustache. Says the Englishman with the bigger mustache. Which means you need to show the man some new evidence to make him change his mind. If only we had that kind of evidence. Don't worry, the summation examination is barely started, really. Perhaps there'll be a shift in the situation that shows an existing piece of evidence in a new light. Let's hope so. To start with though, I need to find some way out of this deadlock. Well, we gotta press on all the people, even these ones.
Hold it!
This isn't a time or a place to be discussing the price of gas, madam. But really, think of the injustice. As a gas, and air is free. Why should Altamont gas cost money? It makes my blood boil. I can feel myself becoming more ruthless than ever. This isn't the time or the place to be ruthless either. If I might interject here. Yes, madam. It seems my fellow jury takes issue with the price our company charges for gas. But it's precisely because of thieves like this man that the cost goes up. Oh, what a beastly man. That unkempt mustache, those hunch shoulders, poisoning tea and stealing gas. Utterly unforgivable. Like, you're thinking of the wrong man, ma'am. No. Mr. Natsume isn't the one who's been stealing gas. I'll thank you not to go adding on more crimes. Mr. Natsume hasn't been poisoning tea either. Well, anyway, I've quite made up my mind. It's as made up as the price of gas. Okay. The stuff
Hold it!
Could we please talk about a poison rather than a gas, do you think, sir? Well, if you like. I mean, to be honest, I'd take poison over gas every time. You take poison? What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, does it? Goodness me, what are you talking about? Set him straight, please, lawyer man. Well, it's certainly true that gas isn't prone to exploding. But I think you'd find poison also can't light or heat up a room. Oh! You're right! I haven't considered that at all. Dots. Young lawyer man. What are we even talking about? We're talking about gas, apparently. Oh, what the heck? Oh no, wait. Wait, what? Did the game crash on me? Huh. Interesting. Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back. Let me fix this. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so what happened was that I went back into... I had to close the game, turn it on again. The autosave brought me back to right before the jurors declared him guilty. So like a fair bit before like the summation examination. So I was just like going through all of that again. So now we probably got back here. Anyways. Anyways, we gotta press on all of them all over again. Or at least like we should press on the third guy, because it doesn't seem like there's any other new things we can get from the first two jurors. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, I'm gonna press on you again. Sir, could we please talk about the poison rather than gas, do you think, sir? Well, if you like. I mean, to be honest, I'll take poison over gas every time. You take poison? What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, can it? Goodness me, what are you talking about? Set him straight, please, lawyer man. Well, it's certainly true that poison isn't prone to exploding. But I think you'd find poison also can't light or heat up a room. Ah! You're right! Haven't considered that at all. Dots. Young lawyer man. Yes? You have a good head on your shoulders. We could use someone like you at our company's legal representative. Hey, yo, let's take it. Let's take it. Yo, let's take it, Rinosuke. Look at her. Look at that smile. Damn. Well, I wasn't expecting to pick up more business in the middle of a trial, that's for sure. Anyway, the point is, I haven't had the best experience with gas companies in the past.
Hold it!
Can we please refrain from all this talk of gas? There's an all-out attack on the way here in case you haven't noticed, against my company's gas. And I'm supposed to sit here and take it, am I? I don't think so. She's really buzzing now. All I've heard about our wonderful field is explosions and poisonings. What about electricity, We're not getting electrocuted. What about that? A little explosion here and there is nothing in comparison. Any explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madam. Nonetheless, the depth of the gas is deplorable. My point exactly. But the gas thieves aren't even the worst of our enemies. There are far more devious reprobates to contend with on a daily basis, you know? More devious? Who, madam? Attempted murderers? Other gas companies, of course. Other gas companies. Not quite what I was expecting. We generate gas, and we deliver it to our customers fair and square. Indeed. Nobody's questioning that, madam. Altamont is an exemplary gas company. But there are other unscrupulous gas companies here in London that don't even have any gas at all. What? But if they don't have any gas, how did you go about selling it to people? You wouldn't think it possible, would you? But they steal our gas, you see? And sell it. Oh, okay. They steal your gas. How on earth is such a thing possible? Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's homes via a network of pipes, so they're siphoning off of the pipes. But these devious reprobates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. Then they make a contract with the household supplied by those pipes, and take money for the precious gas that's rightfully ours, without us even knowing. They're diverting gas into their own pipes illegally. What a brazen form of theft. This is interesting information, is it? When we visit customers' houses to collect the money from their meters, We always have to check whether or not one of these devious companies have been up to tricks. Oh?
Excuse me.
Hello. Do you have something to say about that? Juror number 3. Oh golly, you mean me? I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself. I really did catch him off guard there. Thinking about what the lady next to you was saying, correct? Well, yes. I just got a little riled about it recently, you see. Go on. An Altamont gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipework. We need to ask for your cooperation while we carry out a secret check of your property, sir, the fellow said. So I let him in, and do you know what he did? I'm, afraid I have no idea. Please, tell us. He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall. Then he grabbed the exposed pipe mouth of the pipe and started blowing. Wait! Hands held here. Okay. Natsume left. He wanted to mess with Natsume's gas and heating. So, is it possible for him to have, like, ingested it here? Interesting. Then he grabbed the exposed mouth of the pipe and started blowing into it. What do you think you're doing, young man? You're giving away company secrets there. Oh, please. Everybody knows. But it was very nearly to death for me, I can tell you. What do you mean? I'll explain, if you don't mind. As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their pipes to their customers to our pipe network. Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it? Obviously, there's gas in the pipes, and it's at a fairly low pressure. By blowing air into the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the same pipe will flicker for a moment. Ah, I see. In other words, if, upon blowing into the pipe, the lights of an adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker, you can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes. Exactly, my lord. That's it in a nutshell. That's the reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. The trouble is, the particular worker who came into my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He blew down the pipe with all his might, and you can guess what happened, can't you? Well, if he blew hard, then... Wait, you mean... That's right. The lights didn't just flicker, they went out. Along the stove. Gas started pouring into the house. And that's how he's been, like, cutting the lights. Getting the lights out in Natsume's room. There we go. That's how he killed Duncan. What a disaster. The gas supply must have been interrupted briefly because the man blew too hard, so the flames went out. I'm afraid I yelled at the fella. We're trying to kill us all, I said. Not. So by disconnecting a lamp and blowing into the exposed gas pipe, it's possible to extinguish lamps and stove connected to the same network of pipes. There we go. And when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room. Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps, yes, this is almost certainly the clue that we've been hoping for. Juror number 3, the defense requests that you amend your statement to include that information. Oh, well, if you'd like, I don't mind. Well, I do. It's our company's secret method of identifying the rogues that tried to diddle us. Like I said, madam, it's widely known already. Very well. Juror number 3, you will amend your statement accordingly. Yes, my lord. Although I'm not really sure what the point of all this is. Blow 2 hot into a gas pipe and extinguish everything in the house. And then you're in road trouble. You know what? We're just gonna press shit on this. Why not? You mean it's poisoned? That's right. It's happened a tidy few times now. This is most troubling indeed. There's always days like this one when I don't get any wages. I get it in tea time, say. And I see her doing it, my wife. She gets that devil's milk on her face, and she slips some white powder into my cup. Would it not be like sugar or salt? And you drink it anyway. I was brought up proper, I was. If someone gives you a cuppa, you drink it. And what happened to you? What did it taste like? It was god-awful, believe you me. Salty as hell. Yeah, she added salt. Dots. It's just like, what is happening? Dots. Dots. Then I think perhaps what your wife put in your tea was salt. No! So, she doesn't even care to poison me properly, eh? Unbelievable. What? Okay, dude. Alright. Let's move on, please. If nothing is passed, there's no other explanation, is there? Hang on, I'm gonna press on this, and then we're gonna use this along with the juror number 3. Does that mean that if the victim could be shown to have ingested something else, you change your leaning? Sorry, what's that now? Oh, I was just saying, if the victim did actually eat or drink something else on the night... What's the matter with you? Sorry? I said, if nothing else passed the victim's lips that night. There's no other explanation, is there? Have you been listening to me at all? Not that he ate anything, just... I feel there's an English expression about a pot and a kettle that's appropriate here. Compared to the other jurors who don't even appear to have anything to say about the case at all, it would seem that this elderly gentleman has been listening to the proceedings far more intently. I suppose. The trouble is, he has selective hearing. Exactly, but still, this juror may well be the key to the breakthrough that we so desperately need. We got it in the bag. This is hopeless. There's no way for me to appeal to these people. I do think that the only way we shall overcome this difficult situation is by exposing the way in which Mr. Shamsi was really poisoned. We have to prove that it happened some other way, and not via Mr. Natsume's tea. Yes, I know. The trouble is, I have absolutely no idea how it did happen. We have it. We got it. Mr. Naruhodo, I do wonder if there's perhaps something you might have forgotten. Oh? Like what? It's important to watch everyone involved and pursue people if they react to something someone else says. If you'd like me to remind you exactly what I mean, I'll be more than happy to, of course. We did that already. Once again, Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands here. I probably owe it to my client to hear any advice So perhaps I ought to let Sasato remind me. Then again... No need, I got this. Actually, I don't think there's any need. It's vital that we start trying to change these jurors' minds as soon as possible. Of course, I'm sure you're right. But if you decide you would like your memory refreshed, you need only ask, Mr. Naruhodo. We got it.
Objection!
Let's go! Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 6. Did you hear what juror number 3 just said? What? Yes, of course. I heard him mumbling about something or other. There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Natsume's tea did, in a matter of speaking, pass the victim's lips on the night in question. What? What explanation? I wonder, did the police check the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene to see if there are any traces of poison there? I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time. But the mouth, of a gas pipe. Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance. Oh? What a piece of work as a man. What are you trying to say, Mr. Shamspeare? What speakest thou? Prithee, is it not strange and strange? That is what I say today, sir. I thought I'd been quite clear, but let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body. Good lord. Are they tasty then, gas pipes? Is that what he's saying? Or was the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry, he tried to fill his belly with gas? No, he was trying to kill someone on the second floor. Perhaps no actress would perform a kiss scene with him, hmm? What shame, madam, speaking thy fancy. I assure you, I'm not such a buffoon that I have to kiss pipes.
Objection!
There we go, another cup. This is no summation examination. This is a farce. The prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Nipponese friends' conjecture. To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high on the wall. In order to place his lips to the pipe that feeds it, he would have to be a contortionist. Or... these are empty assertions. There is no possible proof that a man did as you say, but what if I do have proof?
Objection.
It's true. I have no proof that Mr. Shamsher put his lips to the pipe. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamsher has been doing something in front of that lamp on this wall. And I have evidence to prove it. Alright, you've got our attention, lad. I'd like to see how you can be so sure of yourself. So would I. Let's see this evidence then. And I've got the jury's ear. I need to make this opportunity count. This is to prove that, time and time again, Mr. Shamsher stood in front of his gas lamp. Take that! What the? These are... wait. What are they called? Yes, skin prints that were found at the scene. Skin prints, counsel. I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in court, however. My lord, this is exciting new forensic tech... My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Are you winning? You came at the right time, Ari. We presented Holmes's technique. It reveals all the places that Mr. Shamsher touched in his room. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it? Well, if anyone could invent something like this, it's that great Sholmes fellow, that's for sure. I agree. This month's edition of Engineering Thumbs is quite fascinating. We found skin prints in many places that you would expect. On the table, on the costumes. However, Mr. Shamsher also appears to have been touching some very unexpected places in his room. For example, here. Around the hanging picture there. Indeed, multiple handprints appear to be visible. Well, I wonder, could he have been appreciating the artwork perhaps? At first, my colleagues and I thought the same. However, imagine standing with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of, I don't believe it! The gas lamp! Though the reason isn't immediately obvious. It's clear that Mr. Shamspeare, it is obvious because he's trying to kill Natsume, has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp. Right. What have been up to, you nut? dots. I had asked the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement. Me? What did I say? You said that blowing into a gas pipe will make the lights in the entire building flicker. And now, if you recall juror number 3's statement. Well, me now. When the gas worker who visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights in the gas stove to go out, and gas to start leaking into the rooms. Obviously, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is, if Mr. Shamspeare were to would have blown hard into the gas pipe here in this room, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building at will. Crikey! Are you suggesting that the man purposefully caused the gas to—
Objection!
Well, we've got proof. Also acknowledge that prosecution is required to remain silent during a summation examination. I must toast my learned friend's utter disregard for the letter of the law. What's the meaning of this, Lord Von Zieks? This curious photograph, or whatever it is, presented by the defense, the so-called skin print. How many trials this trial so far? 4. Clearly, that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case. But it's an exciting new forensic technique developed by a great detective. It's nothing. A mere toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands. Certainly. Even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Sholmes cannot be recognized by the court as formal evidence. But— Please, my lord, if I may. Mr. Sato. It was not the defense's intention to submit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present the result of the great detective's investigation of the scene, as a tool by which to explain a possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. That's right, Von Zieks, ha! And, if the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has now seen. I don't believe we can allow that to happen, and I'm sure the jurors would agree. You're right! Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide. Juror number 3. Oh yes, I do declare the great detective's investigation results sound absolutely fascinating. And I want to hear what that shady actor fellow has to say about those shady handprints. Here we go, nice. The trial must continue. What's the matter with you two? That was foolhardy. Well, I did say it, didn't I? And I don't like to break a promise. No, wait! He heard his lordship. It's not fair dinkum evidence. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. If just one more juror changes his or her mind, Mr. Natsume's trial would have to continue. Thank you, Mr. Sato. But I couldn't have done it without you. Oh no, it was you who identified the clue after all. This is very much your success. We just need to prove that. We just need to link it with the fire being extinguished in Natsume's stove. Oh, look at you, Shamspeare. You look a little bit perturbed. Why, Mr. Shamspeare, you seem to be losing your composure. Just one more juror, Mr. Naruhodo. You can do it. Very well. Continue, counsel. I guess we still have to, like...
Hold it!
All the evidence, you say? That's right. There's no room for doubt. It's all pointing to the Japanese man with the big mustache. says the Englishman with the bigger mustache. But the defense just demonstrated another possible explanation for the events on the night in question. What do you make of that? What? Your so-called skin prints? It's an exciting new forensic investigation technique, developed by the great detective himself. The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. And Mr. Shamser had indeed put his mouth on the gas pipe on the night in question. It can't be denied that there's a possibility that's where the poison was. Well, yes. I won't deny that it's playing on my mind. But as the prosecution rightly says, we should pay no heed to unacceptable forms of evidence. And besides, yes? Even if the fellow has been up to some mischief with the gas pipe dozens of times before, it doesn't mean he's got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it? Oh. If you can't make your case better than that, I'm afraid I can't change my stance. You do make a very valid point, sir. What? That's true. Perhaps I was a little hasty. No, wait. Look, you've got your chance here, haven't you? So it's time to prove your theory. If you and your Japanese courts can, that is. Leave our nationality out of this, please. Mr. Naruhodo, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before may very well change them back. What can I do? Is there any more proof I can give here? I mean, the thing is that I need to prove that he's been doing it to blow out the gas. Cause like you could stand here, you know? There's a crate right there. Soap's looking at me with one hollow 2-centimeter wide eye. How poetic, Mr. Naruhodo. All the literary references we've been hearing are starting to rub off, I think. Really? Really? Whoever would have thought of using this depression to make coins of ice? It was clearly one of those ice coins that was in the soap when we first found it, wasn't it? Although, it was a sort of reddish color, I seem to remember. I don't have any evidence right now, that's the thing. Can I show that Mr. Shamter really did blow down the gas pipe on the night in question? I have supporting testimony. I mean, this is where Sholmes' barge is in. I can't I have supporting testimony. No. In truth, I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there is witness testimony that substantiates it. What's that? Testimony! This is incredible! Whose testimony? Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. A person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the Garadip household residence that night. Okay, that's the thing though. It's either gonna be Soseki or Garadab. Person's testimony revealed details about the gas that night. Not to make sure, but then like they can't take him at his word, right? Because Gyarados was the only one who was actually properly monitoring, like, the gas of everyone living there. Right? Natsume can only make the account of his own room. Person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the Gyarados residence that night. But is it specifically the Gyarados residence, though? But not, wait, actually Natsume did say that gas. You know what?
Take that!
There we go. Yeah, because Natsume did specifically say that, like, he did specifically say that, like, gas filled in his room. That's the thing. Because yeah. Because Gyarados only saw the flickering of the lights. He didn't see, yeah. Yeah, he only saw the flickering of the lights. Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume himself, and also local, right out of the backseat, okay? The defendant. At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Natsume said the following. My lodgings. There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. Even on that fateful night, it happened. When I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room, I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but for long. The stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, was that a mere coincidence or not? Good golly! So that Shamspeare fellow blew into the gas pipe to make the man's stove go out on purpose. Now hold your horses there. What do you do that for? Not for treasure. Mr. Foreman! What is it, man? We cannot allow judgment to be passed whilst this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet. However, you must surely agree. There's more to this case than meets the eye. Ugh. Dots. Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic, first and foremost. Let's go. Alright, majority's in our room. That's 4 jurors leaning towards not guilty, my lord. We've overturned the decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue. As the defense has rightfully indicated, the summation examination is concluded with a majority of jurors alternating their decisions. 2 juror members now call guilty. 4 now call not guilty. Therefore, the juror's opinion is conflicted, and in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. Mr. William Shamspeare. My lord, how can thy humble Shamspeare serve thee? What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination? So God mend me, I do solemnly swear, I recall aught of either the lamp or the pipe. But your handprints have made a tidy mess all over the wall there. How'd you explain that, eh? Oh god, already. I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5. Who, me? As I went to some pains to point out already, a prince from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in the British court of law. Ugh. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains, at this time, unestablished conjecture. We would all do well to remember that.
Objection.
But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shams's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there,
Objection!
it appears to be extremely simple, as my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were required. Yes, but there can't possibly be any remnants of poison left, right? Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison was to have been spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible. I didn't think of that. In any case, counsel, I fail to see what could have possibly motivated the man to do as you describe. Why enough with this fellow have wanted to blow air in the gas pipe where he lived to kill someone or to get someone out of the room? Dots. I've got evidence. There's only one possibility that I can think of. And that is to use the leaky gas to commit murder. Order! Order! Counsel! Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end? Soseki, bro? The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamser wanted to end the life of Mr. Soseki Natsume. If the gas lamp were to go off, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing. I live around those spots myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lit is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time. Mr. Garadab, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence, on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger, which Mr. Shamsur was trying to end. Outrageous! I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Dots. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder. Good gracious!
Objection!
The accused is actually the aggrieved. Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here. What? How can he still claim that? Let us indulge your fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison in the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that arrives is who put it there? Who did put it there? The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill. Yes, that would seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison? But Natsume's only been there for a week. So now we must ask, how could anyone have known of Mr. Shamspear's murderous designs? You mean to suggest? Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question couldn't be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known. What? In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was a clear retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Whatever Mr. William Shamsier may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could have possibly perpetrated that attack is the accused. Mr. Natsume, I can bring another potential person. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Would you not agree, my Nipponese friend? Chomes, enter the room right now. Enter the room right now. How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly? Mr. Naruhodo, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. Because it's happened before. And this may be our last chance to gain the advantage. What advantage? Well, it would seem that somebody put poison on the gas pipe in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt. It's Olive Green. You mean, name the true culprit? I know it might sound impossible, but if we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all. As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, it's all pointing to a particular person now. It's... The prosecution calls for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. What? Oh, don't you worry. I know exactly. Objection! There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all this. The true culprit of this crime. The true culprit. A term only found in second-rate novels, featuring third-rate great detectives. My Nipponese friend. But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already. I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax. Thank you. Tell us, my learned Nipponese friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime? Olive Green.
Take that!
The name of the person responsible for the poison that afflicted Mr. Shamsier is, I believe, Miss Olive Green. Miss Olive Green. Miss Olive Green. I do feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Counsel, but I don't recall where. Miss Olive Green. The woman from 6 days ago. The victim in the recent case of stabbing on Briar Road. An incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add. Oh, of course, yes, Miss Green. She was left comatose for 3 days, I believe, but I heard she regained consciousness 2 days ago. And I hardly need remind the court that Mrs. Shamspeare's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi. True, on the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in the hospital, unconscious, so on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible, but still. My colleagues and I visited Miss Green in the hospital yesterday. We found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison. Good gracious! She had poison. And there's another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court. Tell me, Mrs. Shakespeare. My lord, pray, what be thy bidding? Are you acquainted with Miss Green? No, never heard of her. Judging by the look at Mr. Shamster's face, he has. I think perhaps she generally doesn't know her. At least, not by name. Maybe. As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my Lynette Nipponese friends fast through to its conclusion. I appreciate that. The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here. Yes, Miss Olive Green. Indeed, my lord. An hour should be sufficient. Very well. I grant the request. Excellent. I hope. The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say. But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant's culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned. Let's go. We need to prove that Olive Green did the deed. To be continued, but you know what? We will continue. We're gonna keep continuing as long as possible. Save your current progress? Yes. Part 3, let's go! Or it's still part 2? Okay, never mind. We'll continue. 23rd February, 11:32 a.m. The Old Bailey defendant's antechamber. It's only been 2 hours? Okay. Joyful jubilant jumping jacks. Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my tea is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Good. Well, technically it is morning. You're not wrong there. Lock Sholmes. May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. I thought the tea was innocent. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is clearly written across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty on all of its own, does it not? Oh yes, but you didn't show up in the morning. And then, I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? Is this idea of early rising? It seems so. And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is there not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yes. Sure. Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? My first night, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. So, bro, come on, man. Shocking. And so the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply Essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What other presuppose? I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. Ah yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this? Ah. Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to... It was a laborious task, as the bottle was nearly empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. So I was right. Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but the licking of the inside of the neck is not recommended. The ball of poison has been entered into court record. Lovely. Could I have a word? Let's take a look. So this is the poison we've been hearing about so much about. Strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here. Look. You must be tempted to try it. Of course not. As long as we don't lose this trial. Dots. No! Even if we lose the trial. Dots. No! We mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo. Make your mind up, Susato-san. It's Gregson. Gregson! How good of you to come. Forget it. Excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector. Hey, Chips. I, don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look of your face, I'd say it's someone else who do you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life will be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector? On the investigation in Mr. Shamsier's room? Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamsier's room? A man by the name of, yes, Selden. I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye. Oh, thank you, Gregson. Something caught your eye. What, Inspector? What? I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourself. Damn, Gregson's actually being super chill. So, like, he was just being an asshole, like 2 months later because it involved government secrets? Okay. Thank you. The capital offender file of illness in prison. Okay. These documents, hang on, let's take a look at them. Investigative findings were related to Selden. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. Died of natural causes whilst in prison, his final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. The estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot here still remains unrecovered. Manchester's Strange Ways prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with a fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shots of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Okay. Who is his cellmate? Okay, so it's still the natural causes of death, this thing. Included details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamsier's room. I'll rearrange in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. Thanks Thanks, thanks, Susato. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows. An inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. No, but like... His final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. Cover... Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way to the courtroom at once. That was an hour? Okay. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off, Dale. Not nodding off at all. Certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Shrooms. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in front of tears, personally, so the best of luck to you. Welcome to Mr. Narhood Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume. It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspeare. This is going to be the final battle. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. 23rd February, 12:30 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Bang. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident. A reckless rash and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration. A rather code assessment from the Honorable British Prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Von Zieks is the new witness present and ready to take the stand. Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in. Wow, both of them at the same time. Okay. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please. William Shamspeare, my liege. For my occupation, I can only say that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Oh so, currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. Mr. Shamspeare. My lord, I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim, in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord. And Miss Green. Yes? You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume. Dots. Yes, the officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. And? Do you accept the charge, Miss Green? Dots. I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly, pigmented personage. Very well. Let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being, to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. It's all very strange. Very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. That's a lie. We know that your fiancé lived there. It so happens that I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago. That's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital, fighting for my life. Yes. Having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the streets outside the Garadev household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days. I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife, through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing. Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you and Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why. We would like you to testify firmly now about what exactly happened. Oh no! The incident 6 days ago! You mean you want me to relive that awful incident? Incident, yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspeare. But what happened 6 days ago is nothing to do with me being poisoned. Let's proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. Let's figure it out. The evening of the 17th February. It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men, in this case, have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had little matter to attend to, that's all. That's a lie. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing of all this business. Yes, second incident inside a week, and what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mrs. Shamspeare. So it's the following morn, when I did awaken, that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine? When Soseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there's nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true. It does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses, if you wish. Yes, my lord. Bum ba da bum bum bum. Let's go. Let's press on this.
Hold it!
I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry I had to go through that. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it will help you to consider a bad dream that ended with your awakening. It should now be forgotten. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you. But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must record exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case. The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I'll just walk along the pavement.
Hold it!
What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attend, what's it called? Yes. It's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene on the underground. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the Far East? Of the East End? Well, it's because, oh yes, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture. Stop lying to us. Tell us about the letter. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term. The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. We don't have evidence to you. And you, Mr. Shamspeare. On the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? It would be my pleasure, sire.
Hold it!
Because we don't have the letter, so we need her to reveal it herself. A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where it did tarry. 'Tis a Jew in the East End. Yes, thank you. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Von Zeeks? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining, for the locality, at least. Not an establishment you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water, and different levels of cloudiness. Damn, okay. I would have expected Grub's Grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea like mush. All equally appetizing. I just want to try some water, and a different bubble once. What's wrong with that? That's a lie. How different can water really be? Damn, just call him bro, dude. Literally. Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment. Because he received a letter. Right? Like, he's the one who received the letter, and not Olive Green. Maybe. Or maybe he sent it to Olive Green so he could, like, eat there. I don't know. Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. To Mr. Shamsier's own actions on the day of this incident 6 days ago, were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that explains these actions. No, we need the evidence from No, we don't have any at present. Not at the moment. I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment. Because we need the letter. If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamsier went there, we must present it to the court. Yes, absolutely. If that is all in this matter, Counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement.
Hold it!
We know that's a lie. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate. There's nothing really. It's not worth mentioning. It is now. Please tell me. If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. What does that matter? That has nothing to do with Duncan.
Excuse me.
Mr. Shamsier, do you have something to share with the court? Dot. To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me, with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me. It's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps. Well, nay, sire. 'Twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me, but you should know, cause he died there. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours. Miss Green. Me, my lord. Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before, containing the note. Do you have it on your person? I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. Card has been entered into the court record. Of course. That's what links Mr. Shamsier and Miss Green. There we fucking go. It's Duncan Ross. And we got the letter. The envelope has been ripped apart rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Dots. Ah. What is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else. Dots. Oh, you don't mean yes. Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. It's a perfect fit. They go together perfectly. This turn-off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card. Lovely. We did it. We established it. The envelope that contained the note to Miss Green and the turn-off end we found fit perfectly together. Yes, there's no question that they're from the same letter. But that means something doesn't quite add up here, does it? Which means Shakespeare was the one who received this letter he tore it carelessly. It's him. Miss Green was the one who sent it to him because she knew how he died. Now, continue your testimony, please, Miss Green.
Hold it!
There we go. Da, 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 da. I like the fact that like it just keeps going lower in pitch. Present evidence. I have it. Mr. Shakespeare. Yes, sire. On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest. Very well. I'll present a court of evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely,
Take that!
oh, damn. It scared me because the music didn't immediately cut off. Anyways. I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord. Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter. I guess court is quite a chill place since painting and drinking while you're an active member is fine. I mean, Loco, if you were here for the previous game, like people were just eating like fruits and stuff in court too. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shakespeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shakespeare? Well... Excuse me, can I say something? Good for them, yeah. Yes, Miss Green. That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this, odd man, does it? Well, you think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely... My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very, very clear about that card. Very well then, you may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note. There's no delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. I want to press on this and then I'll present it again.
Hold it!
I think you said that you received it the day before the incident, didn't you? Yes, that's right. There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope. It was my letterbox, and that's all I know, I'm afraid. I have no idea who sent it. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please? A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do. He passed away in a tragic accident a month ago now, though. I wasn't sure what to make of that note, to be honest. But in the end, I decided to go. So you found out what the information was? Of course I didn't. You're not thinking straight. Also, no way there. She was stabbed in the back. As my learned friend hopefully remembers. Yes, of course. She never made it to the meeting. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamster wonderfully there. It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull out a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Wait, shit, no! I clicked too many times, damn.
Objection!
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in the hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible. Everything that's happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. There's a turn-off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? And it so happens that it fits perfectly together with the envelope of the note you received. Well, where did you find that? In Mr. Shamsier's room. In my room. Mr. Shamsier, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well, your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? So yes, come on. And you, Miss Green. What did I do? As this turn-off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspear's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all. There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspear's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry. Thou hast what? You broke, thou were in my room. What on earth do you want with me? Dots. And would it seem that both witnesses need to testify again? Dots. Miss Green. Yes? Thus you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events. Anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Uh-oh? Yes, I know. Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. Let's go. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago. Peradventure. That note was delivered unto me. And the day within, I did tear a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here. And as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. Oh, my neck. You don't claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare? Faith to so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, it is clear to me now that since I returned from tavern that night, I had not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it appeared that your testimony was a lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I beg your pardon? I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said. And fledgling artists don't lie. I don't think that's true, but anyways. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. If that's the case, if that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Let's go. Very well then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses. Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note. Yes. Two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Let's do it.
Hold it!
And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire. This is strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine. Mine own, barely. 'Tis impenetrable. You forgot. Oh, Zeke says that something is wrong between these two. He's not that unreasonable. He is very prejudiced, but he's not completely unreasonable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Dots. Alack, if the choice is betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature. Marry, not would have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'tis true, I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated. Baroque is racist, but he's not office rocker. I mean... Well, Yeah. Okay, let me hold it. So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared. Well, yes, sire. This is thou sayest. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered. In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all? I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord. 'Tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to an almost clear water, and my innards to a premium crust of bread. And all around me, that's a great many companions. What do you mean? Flies, sire. Flies. Oh, good lord. In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? And his university rocker is slightly off universally. Yeah. Fairies, perchance, from Midsummer Night's Dream, come to taunt me. I think they were just flies in a relatively fine dining establishment. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose somewhere more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? Universe, gotcha.
Hold it!
When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts now occupy my mind. I'm busy with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts now occupy my mind. I'm busied with greater ideas. And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room. Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? Dots. You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I'm not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh dearie me. What's Lord Von Zieg's getting at? I mean, to be fair, like 2 months down the line, he was on our side. He let government secrets be told in court, so, you know.
Hold it!
It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any other way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings.
Objection!
But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could have only come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reasons why she would have done such a thing to avenge her death. Oh, is she the one who sent it to get him out? Yeah, potentially it's sent to get him out, and then to poison, like, the room, right? Because, like, I'm suspecting that the key tied around her neck is actually the key to his room. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though? Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo. We're close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough. Dots. He'll be very funny, yeah. So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Fie. This fledgling doth readily cast aspirations about my nature. And I'm an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh pity, wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, Empole woman? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure. Tragedy. Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days of the years, alas to lighten thee. Thou must wait so long and in vain. Mr. Naruhodo, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. No. As far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamster's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter. Yes. Two more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying. Yes. I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. Let's see. The envelope that contained the note to Miss Green and this run-up end we found fit together perfectly. Yes, there's no question they're from the same letter. But that means something that doesn't quite add up here, does it? You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? Let me see. For what reason would the victim have done that? I'm gonna say it's because of him.
Objection!
Damn it. Clearly contradict. Yes. Damn it. I pressed on all of them. I don't have any other new evidence. So I need to look at it clearly. Damn. Okay. It's either this or it's this. So turn up piece of envelope. I don't know anything about it. Burn off piece of envelope. I don't know anything about it. But, it's either one of her points, you know? Like, we know the strychnine is sure, but... Wait, shit. That has nothing to do with like the case right now. It's basically more information about the convict that died. There's some other reason she broke in. What other reason would she have to break in? If not to steal, right? It's either this or the last one, because we need to refute one of her things. And, you know, if the reason is not the note, then it would just be to poison him, right? I would just say this.
Objection.
There we go. Because like we know the poison, it has to be this one because we need to find a reason because we know the poison is strychnine, right? I was gonna say like appeal to the court with like Duncan, but then that was wrong because we need to establish like she has strychnine with it, you know? Anyways, yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to defense independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry test said the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very poison that afflicted Mrs. Shamspeare. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason, and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. Dots. Can this be? You broke into my room too. It may seem incredible to the court, But from the remaining clues, there's only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who had attempted to take Mr. Shamster's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie. Me! Oh my, oh she fell over. Oh, hold up. Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. No, because Soseki wasn't there. Well, it's a very good point. Dots. Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening, on account of the incident on Briar Road. I see, like, Von Zieks is mean to us, but then he nitpicks us, but then he's also like, he is like faced with the facts. Because what he cares about is the truth. And if it's a truth that cannot be proven in court through evidence, then he doesn't care about it. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Von Zieks. And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shamster's address. More activity? Ah, yes! You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamster was meddling with the gas in a pipe for a very, very sinister reason himself. Zeke might be able to handle it himself by now. Yeah, but it's our job to prove it. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamster had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to temper the gas removed, the poison in the pipe lay dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamster was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poisoner was present at the mouth of the gas pipe. Had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Dots. Mary! Oh my god, she's got a little crate. With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was part of the plan. What part? What plan? The court will record that the note gave instructions to visit the slug and salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell no one else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home. Exactly. While you're out, Ms. Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say, that letter was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. So I was wrong that Meterman saw Miss Green. That's fine. We're still right that it is her. after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Dots. Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So, that's what's behind all this. You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for attacking the victim's life? Mr. Duncan Ross.
Take that!
Duncan Ross. That's right. Referred the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garadab's. Somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago. When men died in strange circumstances at haunted lodgings. That does ring a vague. Oh, of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claim was strangled by the victim's curse or some such. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamster blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. Wait, hang on. The report doesn't talk about the $1,000, but this does. Meaning, and Shamster only left after Selden died. So I'm thinking that Shamspear was Selden's like cellmate. Well, it probably isn't really obvious to anyone but you. Yeah, that's fair. Because like he's as far as everyone knows, he's the only one who knows that she's like he's her fiance. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamster blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. Ugh. Look at the sweat. Dots. Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story you want to know, it doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, 1 month later, once the story's lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean you? Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspear. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry! Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspear, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? Dots. This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding? Do you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder. Yes, my lord. That's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mrs. Shamster have wanted to kill these lodges, as you say? I got it in the bag.
You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man. Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I've been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies. I deny every utterance. And you have to forgive me, Miss Naruhodo-san. But I don't intend to admit to anything either. Miss Green. I'm sure you think I'm being very rude, but I'm not gonna be sent to the colors for the likes of this scoundrel.
Objection.
But he broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason? I thought I had to look around, that's all. Ah, yes, how quaint, eh? Sorry? You're right. I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence of something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh violence, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh rotundity of woman. But in any case, when I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door. With some tubs and a piece of wire. Oh, okay, so this is not the key to the room. She just literally lockpicked the room. Oh awfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of women. We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion. For now, tell the court what you found. What evidence your search reveal? Well, I spotted the note I sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place. Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Ah, yes. Well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. What? There was something inside it. Yes. This key. There is a safe in Soseki's room that's hidden. This rather nice key. Oh, look at her being so cheeky. What are you doing with that? What the? Every ounce of color has drained from his face. Give it to you. Give it to me now. It's mine. I inherited it. What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it. No, What's all this about? He inherited that key. It was obviously important to you since you'd gone to such length to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back this minute. Give it to me. Calm yourself, witness. So Mr. Shamster has tried and in one case succeeded to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened, quite literally. It's true there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamster at first, but Inspector Gregson gave us a little handy-dandy thing, which means we can infer that Shamster knew about the £1,000. But considering everything we now know, I think there's actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of these events. In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say can explain The motivation for Mr. Shamsby's alleged crimes. Take that! That's an official police report, is it not? The Selden file. How did you get hold of it? The Selden file. How did you get hold of that? Selden. Now, sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we know this certainly. A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. I see. And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The some 1,000 pounds worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found. Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in this file here. 1,000 pounds lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. You mean this key is... Mr. Shamsur, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? It is a false charge, I tell you. A false charge. The name of the inmate was of Selden at his death, as noted in his file. But a simple telegram to the prison where he died will quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings? Because, you know, to ensure that no one, looks into the safe or whatever. There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot. So, it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamsur's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garadep's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice. Because Selden's old room had already been let to someone else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamsur subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to I switched accents accidentally. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. Mr. Soseki Natsume, the defendant of this case no less. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamsur? This time, to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. You... There we go. We got his bacon. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything. Stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when it got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in hell, I guess. Jamspear. Dots. It's mine. What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine.
Holy, yo!
Oh, Mr. Shamspear. It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Osu, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me. For the time being, anyway. Verily, you can't arrest a victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so close. I just need a few more hours.
You're basically like confessing that you killed, dude.
I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it. And I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty, through and through. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot.
If we weren't acting like Pokemon cutscenes, people might have. Yeah, literally. He's like, no, like, basically, he just admitted to the crime, essentially.
I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruhodo. Do we have anything else that we can prove? Dots. There is a way. Pardon? There's one way I can finish him. No. He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first.
Olive, give us the key.
A fine plan. But not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly.
We can! Using Mr. Sholmes's skin print.
Dots. This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. But I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find where that loot is hidden.
My lord.
Yes, counsel. The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find a late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to his whereabouts. Dots. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it's already paid off then.
Yes, technique. There we go. That's our hint.
Very well then, counsel. Let the court hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hidden place of the deceased convict's hull?
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken,
Clown doing his best joke. Literally.
those are Mr. Shamspear's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by a great detective, Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by the man with such a ridiculous title? I should thank the great Bar not to recognize such a title when he hears one. Mr. Shamspear. Perhaps you should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah! 'Tis Herlock Sholmes himself! What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. Mr. Sholmes! Rinosuke's secret technique, leaking government secrets. Not wrong, not wrong. He does know Lord Von Zeeks then. You'd have to say something like that, in any case. Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover vital clues in this case already. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. That's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. Ah. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup you had been holding. Elementary. So now, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? So I'm just dodging guards and bailiffs to get in. But, Eri, you saw like the whole, your complexion has worsened since the last we met. But, so we used the key. That's true, the key. Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Soseki's son's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that's hidden in his room. What room would the sample take? We don't have the evidence in our possession. But we can present a person who has it. Present a person. But we need something of of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in possession of somebody listed in a court record. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. Breaks into the courtroom, tells the prosecution it looks terrible, literally. So, which particular person do you have in mind? So I'm just in a silly, goofy mood, my lord. Sholmes is just being silly, my lord. From who can we obtain a possession of the late convict, Selden, to create the indicator solution?
Take that!
Miss Green. Me? What do you want with me? The key around your neck, if you please. Sorry. That key belongs to Selden. There will be remnants of secretion from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Ah! Mr. Shamspear, as one great to another, I assure you, if the late convict's hall is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shamspear, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. No! Give the key to me! The detective shan't have it! It's over, Mr. Shamspear. No. But that means his name actually is William Shamspear, because that's what Selden called him. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt. Whoa. O shameful spear! Despair! Be thy name! Ooh. Who is shooting him? Where did that confetti come from? Is it Chome's? Oh, all your jewelry's gone. Dots. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room. That's all. So you don't have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods. Dots. Yet, after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent. For one thing. Mr. Girodab really has had a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing. Dots. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road, when the Japanese fella got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be. No. The scene was sealed off and guarded by the police, night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Shum spent the whole day in there reading books. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Dots. William Shamspear. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. Dots. But you're still gonna have to go to jail as well, Olive. At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. Yeah, exactly. She has an attempted murder too. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply. Yes, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I'd better not. We said we'd wait until we'd graduated before we told our parents, remember? But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I had known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stupid Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarter of the publican. That place is cursed, I tell you. Cursed! the ghost of that convict who used to live there, is trying to suffocate me. I woke up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room's full of gas, and I could hardly breathe. The pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like, I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking. But how could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered a rumor I heard about how gas companies go around investigating the gas installations. A rumor? Oh, you mean? Yes. Everyone's heard the stories, it seems. But how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. A spirit candle would have solved it, but then he would have freezed to death. Because it was winter, and London winters without heating is absolutely torture. A candle wouldn't be enough for heating. That's their conundrum. And there are no fireplaces in there. Only in Garradab's room. Was it really an accident, though? Once I had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End. A black market? I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. Candle would have lit gas back up when it goes out. Yeah, but what if like he was sleeping, right? Because here's the thing. It's not just like him lighting it up when he's awake. They light it at night because it'll be too cold to sleep otherwise. So he suffocated in his sleep. And also because it's in the stove, like if a gas lamp goes out, it's easy to identify, but when it goes into the stove, right? It's difficult to see. So like, you know, if it noticed and then you lit it up, by the time you notice, gas might have like filled the room already. So the only thing you'll be doing is like causing an explosion. But regardless, like he died in his sleep. Because like usually when Soseki does it, it's like he lights it up, or like he sets up the gas, right? And then goes to bed. And then he wakes up feeling asphyxiated because he wakes up to gas, basically. No, that's not how that works. If that happens, it would just cause an explosion. You know, those aren't the types of sparks we're trying to get here, local. Anyways, I've never been. I just heard people talk about them, and you really can't buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on it so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected a man of tampering with, and wait. If Mr. Shamter was innocent, nothing would come of what you've done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspeare. And then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 PM on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I would know that would... If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so that he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mrs. Shamsville followed the instructions to the latter. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away, but I smeared a good amount of poison I bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit will get his just desserts. Sasato, no. "3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward." "Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend." "Oh, yes." And one I didn't envisage walking. And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you. Dots. Nevertheless, together, we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green. "Yes, my lord." "You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shakespeare." "Yes, I know." "And you, Mr. Shakespeare, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Soseki Natsume at present." Dots. Mr. Naruhodo. "Ah, yes. Yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from ending your life by drinking what was left in the poisoned bottle. I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind." Well, Natsume does die now. After this case, he was on his way there, it seems. Yeah, I mean, the first trial in the second game, which is this game, he was back in Japan, and that was basically like 6 months after this trial. So he's living the life back in Japan. He became a popular author. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems. Dots. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Oh! And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamsir didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. She's gonna cry? Oh, the tears! Because of you, I chose life, not death. And now, you made the truth come out at last. Aww. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green. Mr. Soseki Natsume. Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I will call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty.
Let's go. We did it. Holy shit. Let's go.
What is it, John?
Bang. That was a ride, right? And that was such a fucking ride. But man, like the twists and turns and the little brain worms and shit, like goddamn. That was really good. I really like that. Like that was, to be fair, like both of the trials Soseki's been, actually every trial Soseki's been involved in was a ride. Like before, he was accused of like stabbing Olive Green, but he was just there at the right place in the wrong time, like because a knife ricocheted off a window and like fell on her. And then like another knife that was actually, you know what? I just realized all of Soseki's cases either involve a stabbing or poison, and the one in Japan, it involved both a poisoning and a stabbing of a woman's back. Like Jesus Christ. Anyways.
23rd February, 3:24 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh, yes. Yes, at last. Divine justice duly done. Divine justice. My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache.
Well, it's most common ways of murder in countries without guns. Fair.
Some might say that luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Look him soon to Mr. Narhood Esquire. Once again, you saved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. Dots. I was first acquitted with and gained affection for English literature. While I was in her I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature. While I was in her great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself in my room and lived life through friendly ode books. That's such a difficult time, haven't you? Ah, but a week ago now. I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did. And I've seen more of life in this week than all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there's nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are humans. There are few genuine differences.
So all of this is us remembering this with Pink-haired Watson. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, Iris is the one writing the stories, but she's not the Dr. Watson that was Sholmes' partner. That's the thing. She's the author of the books, but then they're like, as far as we know, her father, John Wilson, was Sholmes' partner, but he's dead, and we still have like multiple, like many answers, like many questions that need to be answered. There are a few genuine differences. Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said. I've come to feel the same way. Dots. I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? Just when we become friends here in England,
What a terrible shame. Oh, I know. That does tug at my heartstrings. It really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. Let's go! Wagahai Nekodaru! A novel of sorts, I suppose. Oh my! So you'd be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume. How wonderful. Oh, well, no. I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache. Dots. I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in some way, be literature. Yes, most important one is, where is James Moriarty? I mean, we shall see. Like, I feel that they could continue, like, because there's only 2 games in the Great Ace Attorney duology, in the Greater Ace Attorney, like, series, right? But I feel like they could add, like, another thing to it. But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper. That's very true. And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand, and there's no Minecraft. To our knowledge, right? Like... Hang on. Nope, oh, wait. Okay, I thought I was gonna sneeze, but that didn't happen. Anyways. Like, can you imagine Ace Attorney Minecraft? That would be amazing. Like, we need to see, like, Shomes, like, get actually, like, annoyed. Oh goodness, yes. Faced with such a terrifying prospect. Highcroft Shomes actually, yeah, why not? As far as we know, yeah. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure. Dots. But that's not why I'm leaving. I mean it. Let's go. And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Soseki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government, but why did Shomes tell us to hide, like, to not talk about this case? It was on reading the report that Professor Mikotova was prompted to visit the scholar, and barely any time later, Sasada-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day, like when they found the treasure? The day that we uncovered the loot, hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. What did we find? Where is it? 24th February, 10:13 a.m. Mr. Natsume's room. Oh, look, a jar for, like, umeboshi. Oh, well done, Mr. Shomes. Oh, simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just 1 day. Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? I don't believe I told you, my dear fellows. Skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Rexon? Dots. Rexy's been happily munching an agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily. I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth. So, it transpires they have man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then. If you're ready, Let's examine the loot's the late burglar's hole. What the? What is that? It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar. This is... As best I didn't wear of in this time, yeah. This is a dog's collar, and there's blood. The Hound of Baskerville? Oh shit! Ooh, wait. This has to be involved with the Hound of Baskerville, right? B, in Custer Black font, the Hound of Baskerville, right? And then, that was the one, and then, like, Sholmes said to never talk about this case because of this, and Sholmes also told Iris to never publish the story on the Hound of Baskerville after reading it. He told her never to publish it. So it's all related. It's all related to the Baskervilles, related to that case. Ooh, okay. It's getting spicy. A collar. It's huge though. And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth 1,000 pounds. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed the inside there? There's some dark stains. Dots. You don't think they could be blood, do you? We never used T testing. Yeah, that never became relevant, huh? They could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. Then of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B, and a small crown. What does this signify, do you think? Oh, I didn't notice that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know? Where could it have been? That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? Yo, the seriousness. All the color is drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this. Wouldn't you? It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be locked safely on the lock and key. Oh, yes. Get your grubbly hands off that, you lot, and hand it over, now! I'd never seen a collar that large before. And all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. Sims casual. That's enough of, like, really, literally, just like, that's enough of this, I think. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. They really have been blood? Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. You're talking about the latest installment of the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, I presume. Rest of them certainly know something we don't. Yeah, they definitely do. The mystery of the knife in the mist. And the mustached men and the convict's curse, perhaps. I can make it a two-part story. Oh, I can't wait. A word, please, Iris. Yes, what is it, Hurley? I'm sorry. But you can't write about this case. It's out of the question. What? Why not? It's a great case. Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Oh. Sholmes is using the voice. Yes.
And so it was that the second of
Oh, shit.
Soseki-san's cases became buried in
God damn,
obscurity.
God damn, Rinosuke. Jesus Christ, that was a jump scare. Holy crap.
Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again,
Let's go.
with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh, wait, I got it wrong. I got the timeline wrong. The next trial we have, canonically, was 4 months after this trial. And then, like, it's 2 months. Yeah, okay. I got the 6 months right. I got the time I got the time gap wrong, though. And let's go. That's episode 2 done. Rinosuke on a hunt for government secrets again. Exactly. Save your current progress? Yes, sir. The return of the departed soul. And we are gonna be calling it here. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you have got the rest of the day going for you, please have a very wonderful rest of your day. If you need to rest and need to go to bed like I do, then so yeah, me to you. Good night. It is very late for me. It is it is 5 a.m. I need to go to bed. Yeah, I need to get some rest. I want to stream tomorrow. I don't know if I want to stream. Actually, I'll need to see on that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but for my next stream, I'm not sure if I want to do Suikoden 2 first, or if I want to do some Genshin, or if I want to do something else. I shall see. I kind of want to do Suikoden, but I'm gonna have to like see about what time I want to do it. Yeah, or like if I do it tomorrow, or like if I do it the day after. Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much again. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I went a bit over because I went the 2-parter because I really wanted to complete the episode, and I'm glad I did because like I feel like it would have been bad. Like it would have felt like super unsatisfactory if I didn't do that because we solved the last thing like within an hour or so, and then everything else took about another 30 to 45 minutes, give or take. But yeah, okay, let's take a look and see. You know what? Let's go raid the cat cafe. Yeah. I feel like that'll be a nice place to drop off. So, for those that don't know Hiramarigo, it is a cat cafe located in Nagoya, and they have from what I understand, it's either 24 hours or like a very significant part of the day. Yeah, it's a cat cafe in Nagoya. They have really cute cats. Let's just go on and give them a snowmobile green. We don't have to do any raid messages. We're just gonna go there and and see some nice cats. They're pretty active right now. I see a lot of them just wandering around. So yeah, let's go on over and do that. So I will see y'all again next time. But in any case, let's stay out. And as always, this has been Telia, and I'll see ya